Father Malachi Martin was the private secretary to Cardinal Augustin Bea for 6 years, from 1958 to 1964, at the time of the Second Vatican Council. During this time he said he read the Third Secret of Fatima and got to know the main players who orchestrated the changes that took place in the Church during the Second Vatican Council. One day in 1960, Father Martin found himself traveling in a car with Cardinal Bea and Pope John XXIII. There were 4 people present in the vehicle: the driver, Pope John, Cardinal Bea, and Malachi Martin. During that trip, Pope John himself gave Father Malachi the Secret to read, because he was fluent in Portuguese. It was written on a sheet of paper, not on the 4 sheets of paper presented by the Vatican in 2000. After this, on many occasions, Father Martin spoke of the Third Secret, even though he was under oath not to explicitly divulge its contents, but he cleverly sidestepped this requirement. In his last live radio interview in the late 1990s, on the Art Bell show before millions of listeners, Father Malachi said that there is something terrible and horrifying about the Third Secret. He admitted that there will be a world war and a great disaster in which many people will die. And then he made it clear that God would finally have to intervene with the 3 days of darkness. And that this was beyond anything imaginable. In 1997, Father Martin referred to this possibility in more detail, saying that we could have an apostate pope, and that in that case we would be involved in something terrible. We would be in something like a nightmare that would test the faith of the people and that the faith of the majority would be shattered. He said if this happens, the kingdom of darkness would have the prize and everything would have to go underground. As reported by Malachi Martin, the Third Secret covers 3 main themes. A physical punishment to nations, involving catastrophes, man-made or natural, on land, in water, and in the atmosphere. A spiritual punishment, much more terrifying and distressing, especially for Roman Catholics, than physical difficulties, which would consist of the disappearance of the faith, a period of widespread infidelity in many countries. And third, that Russia was the regulator of the Fatima calendar. The role of Russia is very important, because the cure for the ills of the world will begin in Russia. And that is why the Virgin Mary has actively spoken about Russia at Fatima. Salvation will come from that area, above all from the Ukraine and from Russia itself, which is extraordinary. Martin said in 1990 that what was written in the Third Secret of Fatima was already being fulfilled. The Church was in the midst of an apostasy that was becoming pervasive. He said, "In Rome there is an immovable force, which cannot be dislodged by ordinary human means. That is why Christ chose his mother, who should be the one who would come and finally save the Church."
Our Lady is calling. God bless and thank you for watching Mystic Post TV.